As inventory has increased, we may be entering into a buyer's market in many areas. I'm going to give you my top 10 tips on buying your first home in a buyer's market. Watch them all because they may make the difference in your successful first time purchase. Let's go. I'm Shaheedah Hill, getting you over the hill to home ownership and helping you confidently buy your first home. My 10 tips starts with this one. Don't tell the seller what you qualify for. Often you're going to be sending in your pre-approval letter with your offer. In this buyer's market, you may not want to share exactly what you're qualified for. For example, you're making an offer on a house for $300,000. Say the house is listed for $300,000 and you're going to offer $285,000, but you're qualified for $350,000. If you go ahead with your offer and send in your pre-approval letter for $350,000, that seller automatically knows that you're qualified for much more than what you're offering them. Now, your agent is going to advise you on this, but often the lender will allow you or will give you different pre-approvals so you can change them up based on your offer. One way I like to do it is to put in the address of the property. So make the pre-approval letter very specific to that property, basically saying the buyer is pre-approved to purchase 123 Main Street. And then they could verify that amount with the lender. Or just adjust the pre-approval as needed. Sometimes, and again, it depends on the home, you don't want the seller to think that you're only qualified for the amount that you're offered, then they may not counter you. So you have to play with this a little bit, but you want to work closely with your lender and your agent to put in a good offer and make sure you're sending in the right pre-approval with that offer. Number 2, try to find out why the seller is selling. You want to see their sense of urgency to get their home sold. Do they have to move? Is there a job relocation? Is there a divorce? Are they behind on payments? You want to know how urgently do they have to sell, and then you can strategize your offer accordingly. Number 3, days on market. If the property you're interested in has a days on market, meaning they've been on the market longer than the average days on market for your area, it's typically because of the price, the condition of the home, or the location. So if they've been on the market for a long time, they may be overpriced and you can come down on that price. Or it may be the condition of the home. And if you're still interested on the home, you can come down on the price or ask for some seller concessions because of the condition. You really can't do much about location, but if they're having a difficult time selling, then you would want to come in below list price. Number 4, I want you to know how much equity the seller has in the house, and your agent can help you figure this out using some information that they have in the MLS along with the tax records. You want to know how much wiggle room does the seller have based on the offer you're going to put in. Do they have enough money in equity to pay your closing costs? Do they have enough money in equity to accept something below the list price? You want to have a good idea of the equity to know how much money that seller has to work with. Number 5, ask for what you need. If you need repairs, if you need replacements of something in the seller's house, if you need closing costs, if you need a lower price, ask for that in your offer. In a buyer's market, you're in the driver's seat, so you really want to ask for what you need. Work again with your agent for any repairs, replacements, closing costs, and price reductions, because it's really going to matter the competition and your local market, how much you can ask that seller for. Number 6, get 3 lender quotes. If you watch any of my videos, I say this in almost every video. I don't want you just to quote with one lender. That means I want you to get 3 pre-approvals, and then you're going to work beforehand and during your transaction to figure out which lender is best to go with. So just make sure you're getting 3 quotes. It doesn't hurt your credit as long as you are getting the quotes within a short time period. Make that under 30 days, even better under 14 days, but you don't want to just go with one lender and not know if you got the best interest rate and the best terms. It's the best thing for you to get at least 3 quotes. Number 7, work with an agent that's familiar with the area. If you're in a large metropolitan area, large city, and you're buying in a particular area, you want to see how many closings or how familiar that agent is with that area. That could really help you in a buyer's market know the better neighborhoods, the better schools, all of the information that you need from their firsthand experience with that local market. Number 8, know when to lock your rate. A lot of lenders don't discuss this with their buyers ahead of time, but your interest rate is floating until you lock it. And so you want to have a conversation with your lender ahead of time before you go under contract to discuss when's the best time for you to lock your rate. Because the Federal Reserve is doing a lot of things to impact interest rates, and as news stories come out that could bring rates high or lower within a short time period. So you really want to have those conversations early so you understand when it's best to lock your rate. And I did this video all about deciding when the best time is for you to lock your rate. Number 9, plan to live in the house for at least 5 to 7 years. That way, if there are any price fluctuations in the market, you'll have enough equity when it's time for you to sell. Number 10, down payment assistance. If you're thinking you want to use a down payment assistance program, I want you to, before you start shopping for a home, I want you to investigate and research those down payment assistance programs, because in a buyer's market, sellers are more likely to accept an offer with down payment assistance. But before you actually go out and shopping, go ahead and see what programs you qualify for and which programs will be best for you to use. All right, that's my top 10, and I have a bonus. Be willing to walk away. The benefit of a buyer's market is there's always a lot of inventory in a buyer's market. So if one house doesn't work out for you, there's probably a very similar house that may work out for you. So make sure you're not afraid to walk away from a home if the deal just doesn't feel right and doesn't meet your needs. You always have more options. Thank you so much. The next video you should watch is the most important people in your mortgage transaction. Before you buy your first home, you want to know who exactly does what. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe for new videos every week.